Alright everyone, welcome back to the Hello World guy, and well, this is the next tutorial, and let's quickly get started. So in today's tutorial we are going to basically do two things. First is setting up a tile map system, and the second one is creating a camera following mechanic. So the tile map system is pretty easy to implement. To be honest, it's actually really easy to implement the tile map system. It's not that difficult. For of course, that in order to do that, we need to have some tile map assets, which we obviously don't currently. So in order to get some of those assets, I'm going to open up the package manager. I'll go and just choose my assets here and let it fetch all the assets. So as soon as it has got all of that, you can see here that I have already installed a bunch of packages. Some of them contain quite nice, but we are actually going to use this sunny land package. So just select that package, hit import, and just import everything. There are some things that we don't need, but we are just going to import everything. By the way, in the final game, we really should not have any extra stuff, or else it would look terrible. That the size of your app will be too large. Anyways, now this in this Sunnyland folder. So if I go here, Sunnyland, we have got this artwork folder here, and the scenes folder. The scenes folder just contains a demo scene. You can see it just contains all of the sprites. To be honest, nothing more than that. I'm going to open up our sample scene back again, and in the artwork folder we have got environment and we have got sprites. Now in environment we have got a sliced tile set. We have got a non-sliced one as well, and we have got a sliced tile set, which as you can see contains a bunch of different tiles, and you can use them to paint our own environment. So how can we do this? Now in order to start, if I just go ahead and select them all, then nothing would happen. So first of all, in order to actually add a tilemap object to our scene, I'm going to right click here, go to 2D objects, and then tilemap, and then add in a rectangular tilemap. That should add a grid as well as a tilemap to our scene. Now this is quite nice, I guess. And if you select the tile map, you can see that we have got some things here. We have got tile map component here along with the tile map renderer. And if I select my grid, we have got a grid component here, and I can change the cell size here, like make it 2 by 2, so 1 2. I'm not going to do that. So this is basically set up, but how can we actually paint stuff on our tile map? So in order to actually paint all of that, what I'm going to do is first of all select this round object and delete it. Then go under Window, 2D, and open up the tile paletting window. Just dock it somewhere, like I don't know, dock it here maybe. You can do whatever you want with this. Maybe you want to have it by the inspector, but that won't be really nice. So just have it somewhere, maybe down here. No, I'll just put it. Actually, I'll put it here. All right. Now that's pretty awesome. And what you can do is, you can see we currently have got no palette. So I need to go here and create a new palette just by clicking this create new palette button. For the name, I'm going to say environment, I guess. And grid is going to be a rectangle, and I can specify a cell size if I want. This way it will be automatic 1 by 1, and that's it. And if I hit create, then you can see it gives me a kind of a place to how to place it actually. And I might put it somewhere. Maybe I will put it in my scenes folder, because kind of that makes sense. Or I can put it in I can create a separate folder here called actually art, or yeah, that's the art, and then select that folder for creating it. Anyways, once you have done that, just select all of these textures that you've got, or just the ones that you need if you don't need all of them, and then just add them to here. Just for the folder, just select the art folder, and that should do everything, and create your tile map, and that should work. Alright, now you can see I've got my environment tile map here, and we have got a bunch of stuff. So if I select my grid object and I select this paint tool, then you can see that I can paint, but I don't have anything selected. So if I just select, like for example, let me just okay, select something here, like that. For example, if I just select any tile, you can see I can kind of paint with it. But you can also see that it's really not working. So if I just select this tile, you can see that I am painting with it, but it's just like so small. I mean, That really doesn't make much sense. Why is that? How can we fix this? So in order to fix this rather weird problem of such a small object here, now before we actually fix that, you should know that our tile size is 16 by 16. You know the default size is currently 16 by 16, and if I go under and select my tile set here, the main tile set, then you can see that it's saying that pixels per unit is 100, which is a lot more than 16, and that's the reason it's appearing so terribly small. And if I go here and I change this to 16 and I apply that, then you should see that it's perfectly matching up now. So I can just go here and maybe dock it behind the inspector, I guess, and then I can go here and I can select something I like here, like this one image, and then I can drag it on to create this. Yeah, I can pretty much do whatever I want with this. It's really awesome. So now we have learned how to create a tile map. Time to design our first level. Small little one, just nothing special. Alright guys, so I just drew this. So just I kind of just drew a simple kind of grass line here, like that. So yeah, that's pretty awesome, and it looks really cool. And now I'm going to add a something that matches here below this. So I'm going to select this empty one, this one here, this empty one, and then just draw that, and maybe make it like by the way, you can see that kind of filling the whole thing can be a little tedious. So if you select this or hit U, and then you can just drag this and you can create a box. So that's pretty awesome. And now this is all good, and we can maybe have something for the side as well, by going here and selecting, just select a tile that you want. For example, you might want this, so just select that and put it here, like that. So yeah, this is pretty awesome. So if I go into the game view, you can see it's working. I'm actually going to select my main camera, and I think it should be a little larger, so I'm going to change its size to 8, and then I'm going to okay, I think that this really doesn't match up, but we will worry about these later. But first let me address an important problem here, and that is that, oh, our player currently falls through it. So in order to fix that, just select the tile map and go ahead here and add in a tile map collider 2D component. So tile map collider 2D, that should work automatically, and it also works with alpha sprites, so diagonal movement will work as well. But yeah, you can see that this is pretty much working. Now you can see, if I zoom in a bit, you can see that there is this slight gap here. Okay, so why is there a gap in between? There should technically be no gap in our tile. Now the reason behind this is all pretty complicated, and we could go into the details, but I seriously am not going to do that. So instead, what I am going to do is just use a simple solution for this, and that is that you can easily fix this problem by making your tile slightly larger, because sometimes Unity takes a part of the tile which is actually not a part of it, so it causes a bunch of problems. So all you need to do is go under sprites, your artwork slash environment, and select this tile map, and then just make it pixel per unit something like 7.9 instead, and hit apply, and you can see that that problem immediately disappears. And that's all pretty awesome. So I have just made a wall up here so our player doesn't escape, and maybe one up here as well. So like that. You can also use this tool, of course, to actually just create it pretty easily. So yeah, that's awesome, and you can see we have got it here. So this is a basic level now, and of course it currently doesn't contain much. It's just a plain level. So if I play now, you can see it's all good, but we can't actually see where our player is going, because our camera is not following it. So how can we make the camera follow the player? So in order to make the camera follow the player, actually it's not that complicated. If you just drag your main camera into the player, that means that the camera will naturally just follow the player. I just make it if I just make it 0 and 0, that means that the camera should perfectly follow the player. So just hit play, and you can see that if I move, the camera is following me. By the way, oh, what's the problem? The collider is not working really. Seems like there is a bit of a problem with the collider. We'll fix that as well. And also, I think my player is way too slow as well, and also too small. So I'm going to increase this sprite scale to a bit larger, and then increase the square to a bit larger as well. Just move it up a little bit, and that's better. And I'm going to of course select my player, go under the player grid, and increase its speed to something like 14, and the jump force to something like 12. So just if I hit play now, then this should be all right. Yeah, it's working. But of course our collider is currently not working, so I'm going to just select the player, just zoom in here, and I'm going to go under this box collider and increase its size on the X a bit, and then of course on the Y. So now of course we need to fix our feet placement. So if I select my feet object, hit F to zoom in, and then I'm going to decrease its position on the Y until it's kind of at the right place for actual checking. So -1 actually seems pretty. 1.15, 1.1 1.2 seems a bit too much. 1.175. Alright, that's almost perfect. So if I hit play now, then you should see that everything is working. So I can move, I cannot go up here, I can jump, and it's all pretty good. So now the camera is moving, but it's not moving in the way that I would quite like it to. I mean, it's just barely moving, but it doesn't feel that good. And the reason for that is that the camera shouldn't just follow the player. It should be a little bit animated. And while it's not that difficult to program it ourselves, to create something really good, we can use an external package, and that's what we are going to do. So how can we make the camera follow the player in a better way? Now in order to do that, I have separated my main camera from the player, and it's 0, 0, -10 right now. And for that, we are going to use an external package called the Cinemachine, which is by the way included in Unity. So if you go under Package Manager and choose Unity Registry, then you should see the Cinemachine package here, which is great. And just click on the install button to install it. I have already done that. After doing that, all you need to do is you got our main camera here. You can just leave it as is. Right click here, go under Cinemachine, and this is a new thing now, and add in a 2D camera, and just call it something like I guess camera. Just call it that, and then make sure that Z is like -10. Then for the follow target here, you can see that drag the player object in here. Now as soon as you do that and hit play, you already see that it looks a lot better. You can see that, and you can see it's kind of not just following the player. It has got kind of this effect to it, which makes a lot of difference actually in how good your game feels to play. So yeah, this is a great way to add great looking cameras to your game. But before I end this video, you can see that I kind of get my player get stuck here, and the major reason for that is that the default tilemap collider is actually not that good. So what I'm going to do is really simple. Just select your tilemap and turn on is used by composite here. Then change this extrusion factor down to 0. Then add in a composite collider 2D here, and that should automatically add a rigid body as well. And then change this rigid body from dynamic to kinematic or static. Once you do that, you can see that now it's not adding these at everything, but instead it's kind of goes around it in a way that feels more natural. So now your player shouldn't have any problems going through. It shouldn't get stuck or anything. You can see I can move and I never get stuck. So alright guys, this is pretty much it for this video, and I will see you in the next video. Also make sure to like and subscribe.